Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct the political satire that's packed into the song Lump by the Monkey Dance, and we're doing it using a really detailed analysis from the educational platform MOOCit. So let's just jump right in with a big question. Can a song, just a piece of music, really hold up a mirror to our political reality? Well, according to this analysis, the answer is a big yes.
The song we're looking at is called Lump, and the analysis we're using points out that it's this satirical jab at populist figures, and it doesn't really pull any punches. It specifically mentions Donald Trump.
Yeah, so we're talking about way more than just a catchy song here. The analysis really frames this thing as a sharp, almost surgical critique of populism, demagoguery, and, the whole business of manipulating the truth. Stuff that feels, pretty relevant right now. All right, so let's get into how the song actually builds this critique. It all starts with a main character, this guy they call Lump. And right from the get-go, there's zero subtlety here. The song just kicks off by establishing this incredibly grandiose self-image. And, according to the analysis, that's like textbook populism 101. The lyrics just keep layering it on, painting this picture of a character with a massive ego and, let's be honest, some seriously questionable ethics. That line, "My soul has been sold," wow, that's pretty direct, isn't it? It's like a confession. He's traded his values for power and cash. And this line, this is just brilliant. It really gets to the heart of the critique of his whole leadership style. It's not just that he makes big promises, it's the performance of it all. Promising the world, even when you know you're just going to deliver dust. So what's the key takeaway here? It's this huge, gaping chasm between what he says and what actually happens. And the song suggests this isn't an accident, it's a tactic. You make the promises so huge that the disappointing reality kind of gets lost in all the noise, especially for the people who believe in you. Okay, so we've got a pretty good picture of who Lump is. But how does he hold on to his power? Let's peel back that next layer of the analysis and find out. The analysis points out this worldview that is, it's incredibly stark. Basically, truth, that's for fools, for people who admit defeat. So what do you replace it with? Lies. And you don't just tell them once, you put them on a continuous loop until they just become the new reality for everyone. Now, this line is really fascinating. The source sees this as a straight-up strategy. You manipulate history itself. You build your own story, your own version of events. And to do that, you just have to tear down whatever came before. And get this, the analysis actually connects this directly to George Orwell's idea of doublethink from 1984. That concept of holding two completely contradictory ideas in your head at the same time and believing both are true. In Lump's world, what's real is less important than what's useful to him right now. And what's another classic tool in the playbook? Well, you attack the system itself. If things don't go your way, you just cry fraud, you cry betrayal, just like the lyrics say. You create all this doubt about the very democratic process that could ever hold you accountable. But a leader like this can't exist in a vacuum, right? There has to be a system that allows it to happen. And that's where the song's critique gets even broader. It starts to look at the whole rotten system that props him up. And to talk about this system, the song uses this super simple, almost funny metaphor, but it's actually incredibly powerful. It uses bananas to represent all the corruption and cronyism. So it's not just random, it's a whole system, right? You've got bananas for your friends to keep them loyal. You've got bananas for your enemies to shut them up. The lyrics say it all. Bananas buy silence. That's how the game is played. It's painting this picture where everything is just based on bribes and favors. And this doesn't stop with just politicians. No, this critique goes all the way up to the justice system itself. That image of justice laughs, the jury is blind. That suggests the entire legal system is a joke, completely compromised by money and power. All right, so we've got the leader, we've got the system, but there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it might be the most important one. Let's talk about the final layer of this analysis, the role of the followers. Now, the song gets pretty provocative here. The analysis points to its use of the German word Affen, which means monkeys, as this really stark metaphor for a political base that is, uncritical. A base that just follows, no questions asked. And this line, this really nails it, doesn't it? It highlights this almost religious devotion they have. It's not about policies, it's not about facts. It's about taking every single word from the leader as if it's coming from on high, just accepting it as gospel.
So what you get is this really fascinating, kind of twisted symbiotic relationship. The richer the leader gets, the more successful he seems. No matter how he did it, the louder his followers cheer. His success becomes their success, and they just jump even higher.
Okay, so let's just pull all this together. What the MOOCit analysis shows us is that lump isn't just a song. It's this incredibly detailed deconstruction of a certain kind of political power. You've got the leader, the corrupt system, and the dynamic with the followers. It's the whole shebang. And all of this really leaves us with one big final question to chew on. In a world that feels so saturated with spin, with alternative facts, could it be that art, and maybe satire especially, is actually our sharpest weapon? Is this our most effective way to hold power accountable? Definitely something to think about.